And we're back. I'm Charles Murphy. It's Tyler Foster. We are on the MPX Hotseat. It's a little sweaty already because we've had some hot opinions already. But now
my seat feels okay.
You good over there?
Yeah. Actually, I got the Tony Schiavone chair. I think I'm a little bit higher up.
You are, yeah. I'm taller than you though, so this is weird.
Not right now.
Not right now.
Again, I got the bigger paycheck here for this one.
But I'm the only one enjoying TX whiskey at the time.
It's a good point.
Fair trade-off. Now we're going to go to a segment that I used to do on podcast and radio things I used to do. It's called The Trend, where we go over some of the hottest topics in whatever field that, we're doing. This is wrestling, so we're going to do all the wrestling topics, and I hashtag them. We talk about them and see how, we can come to an agreement on something, or we just hate each other because we can't agree on anything. The first thing is my hashtag for super controlled narrative. Yes, hashtag super controlled narrative, because Control Your Narrative, the wrestling promotion started by EC3 and Adam Shear, Titan. Gosh, how many names is he going by now?
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman.
That guy,
Yeah, the big choo-choo train. Yeah, they started their own independent wrestling organization that is going to be on TV, on like Pro Wrestling TV next year, something like that.
It's something like that.
It's something really strange, and I'm totally for that. If there's going to be a Pro Wrestling TV,
it was another one of those things where they put out something like, we're gonna have TV soon, so they're every indie promotion ever. And it's like, all right, we got a TV deal coming.
Yeah.
But they really do have something, so I mean, good on them if they do. And I heard that show they ran maybe didn't quite draw as well as
they did like a bar.
Maybe they expected,
that, right?
But
yeah.
Hey, maybe it only goes up from here. Who knows?
Well, they have just released their rules because Control Your Narrative is supposed to be all about freedom, and Free Your Narrative was the first thing they did, and now it's Control Your Narrative, and so they've released these rules, and they have 8 of them, and we're gonna go over them and see if we agree, disagree, find these kind of dumb. The first rule of Control Your Narrative is you're in control. That's right, you're in control. But the second rule, so this is where it gets kind of fishy right here. The second rule is you are in control.
In all caps.
Yeah, in all caps.
Second one, all caps.
To make sure you just
make sure you know about
drive that point home.
Who's in control? Who is in control? You.
But in wrestling terms, you got to think about there's 2 people in a match. If he's in control and I'm in control, who's really in control here? Well, they'll figure that out, I guess, during the match.
We'll find out who's really in control. I guess that's going to be. It's what you're watching for, I guess.
Yeah.
Who's in control?
Yeah,
is it you or you?
Yeah, we gotta figure that out real quick. Rule number 3 is fights end when you tap out, get knocked out, can't stand, or quit. So the basic, last man standing rules kind of with that, except for the tap out, you know what I mean? But then sanctioned matches can end via pinfall. Again, it gets kind of weird because fights. They use the word fights like multiple times, and they use the word matches multiple times in these rules to really differentiate what you're gonna see in Control Your Narrative. And so when you're just getting a fight, which is the first part of the rule, which makes me think that's what you're gonna get more of, it's just like 2 guys really trying to kill each other.
My problem with that, I understand, I get it, but my problem with that is what I feel like you're telling people, more or less, is if this is a sanctioned match where you can have a pinfall, but those other things, those were fights where you can end in, what was it, knockout, can't stand, quit. So what you're saying is, more or less, without saying it, is that was real. This is a match.
Yeah, this is a match. This is a sanctioned match.
I don't know that that's the best thing to be. So people see fights, and then you go into a match. I mean, why?
Yeah, why would we do this? Why are we believing? Where's the suspension of disbelief supposed to come at all in this? So I think we're kind of on the same page on that. That's a little weird. The fourth rule, standard pro wrestling rules apply for sanctioned matches, which, great, good, cool on you for maybe doing what people complain about AEW about, which is not holding up the really professional rules. Right. But chaos, the word chaos ensues in the project pit, all
caps, project pit,
to make sure you know that it is for real.
It goes down in the project pit.
And that, apparently. You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of the Raw Underground. That's what in my brain, I'm picturing Braun Strowman looking like a gardener with his gardening gloves and his sweaty shirt, like beating up what's his face, Riddick Moss. Yeah. That's what I'm picturing in the project pit.
Before he wore suspenders.
Yeah, before he was, Madcap. Yeah, that's a no for me, dog. On that last one, I don't know what a project pit is. I just don't know.
I have no clue what that means, but again, as you saw, you mentioned Raw Underground, and you looked at that while WWE ran that for, a handful of months while they were off in the old Thunderdome there. If that got to be another one of those situations where, like, inside of our show, we're going to move over here and have real fights.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Because Dolph Ziggler needed to look tough.
So we're gonna go down here, and Shane McMahon's gonna lead you through the door, and we're gonna fight for real. Mm-hmm. But then when you're out there, though,
it's sports entertainment.
Yeah, we're entertaining. We're gonna entertain you.
Oh, speaking of entertaining, rule number 5 is not entertaining because it takes away most of the entertaining things. And this right here is where the whole control your narrative, you're free to do what you need to do, really goes out the window. Because
not everything. You're not free to do everything.
Not free to do everything.
According to rule number 5.
No super kicks. No top rope suicidas, or for the uninitiated, that is a suicide dive, which makes me wonder, can you do the mid rope suicidas, or can you do the Rey Mysterio, where you slide out like your Kirby or whatever that is, which is a really cool move. I really like that.
Well, if it's one of these, if it's one of those not sanctioned matches, can't you just do it anyway?
Yeah,
no
right.
rules.
Yeah, no rules.
No rules. You can do what you want, right? Is it just sanctioned matches you can't do that?
I think we're gonna find that out. And then,
does anyone know? No, they don't.
And then they hashtag these too, by the way, so they were really serious about it. It's hashtag no Canadian hashtag destroyers. So why? Like I get it that maybe those moves are technically overused in the indie circuit.
Oh, so they're very much overused.
Yeah.
I mean, the super kick's been beaten to death so much that
right.
You watch a Young Bucks match, it takes 37 of them to even get a 2 count at some point. It's like the Canadian Destroyer, kind of the same way, has been taken. It's been taken to a degree where now the only believable way to win with a Canadian Destroyer is when somebody pulls like a top rope or a springboard, some kind of
through something. You have the Canadian destroy someone through something.
You go back to 2004, Petey Williams dropping people with the Canadian Destroyer. You do that now and get somebody a 3 and like, oh, they jobbed that guy out. What a loser.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're kind of for this.
I don't like. I wouldn't ban them. I mean, that's dumb. But I get what they're going with there. I mean, hey, take super kicks, tope suicidas, Canadian destroyers. For some guys on the indies, that's their whole moveset. They can't do anything else besides that. So put one of those guys in this match, what are they going to do?
Right.
They probably can't even lock up, so I don't know what they're going to do. But I mean, these are moves that really they need to be toned down.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't know at this point how you do it, because it's not like you can go back and it's like saying, hey, I want to turn the hammer lock back into a finish. I mean, at this point, like, the cat's out of the bag on it. You really can't put it back in, but I feel like you can tame down the super kicks, the Canadian destroyers, and try to make them special again, but just you look around the whole wrestling scene all over the world, and that just doesn't seem to be anybody's intention.
No.
I mean, control your narrative here. I guess they're going to try, but just saying you can't do these things is after you've just told us that you can do you're in control and do whatever you want, except unless it's a sanctioned match. They're like contradicting themselves already here by rule number 5.
Rule number 5, not even halfway through the rules, that like a little more than halfway through the rules, they're already going to go, okay, wait, you can't do this. Rule number 6 is actually something I understand what they're saying, and it fits into the overall theme of what I think they're trying to do, but I just don't know how they're going to pull it off. Rule number 6 is the fight isn't with your opponent, it's with yourself. And I was listening to some opinions on this, and the idea of, beating someone, being the best version of yourself is what professional wrestling is supposed to be about. Right. I am full on agreeing with that. I think when you think of the base of what that is, what this competition is, it is about being the best version of yourself, and no matter what, either you win or lost, that's what you did. So I get that. The fact it's a rule, and with all these other rules, I think kind of convolutes everything.
Yeah, it's one of the. I'll tell you, the first time I read this rule, the very first image that came into my mind is the scene in Liar Liar where Jim Carrey beats himself up in the bathroom, try to get sent home from court.
Kicking my own ass. Do you mind?
But it's not with your opponent; it's with yourself. So are they just gonna back into neutral corners and just start beating themselves up? Is that what we're gonna get here, or is this supposed to be? Is this Fight Club? Is that what we're doing now? If so, you can't talk about it.
Oh, this is totally Fight Club. This is Fight Club.
You're not supposed to talk about it.
Let's
edit that again.
Yeah, I can't talk about that anymore. This show immediately got censored because we said Fight Club. This is Fight Club. Rule number 7. Number 7 again. We're getting the fights and matches things because fights will go along as long as they have to. Okay. Sanctioned matches hit their times, so I haven't heard this yet. Doing anything backstage. Hit their time, is that a term that I'm just not familiar with, or
yeah, it's a term, but it's not one I'd put in the rules of my promotion or anything, but
it's an insider term, right? It's a pretty far insider term.
I'll be honest, I don't know what they're trying to say really.
Yeah,
assume that they're trying to say when they say sanctioned matches hit their times, again all caps.
Yeah, again.
Is they're going to put time limits on these sanctioned matches, and what they're saying there is that it's not going to go like if you give us a following contest scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit, it's not going to go beyond 15 minutes. Is what I assume they're trying to say. If you're saying it the other way, then you're saying, hey, go out there, got 8 minutes, guys, hit your time.
Yeah, make sure you get all 8 minutes in.
What are you gonna tell the crowd that before? Hey, these guys have 8 minutes. They're gonna hit their time. We'll put the clock up so they know. We got it.
I'm imagining this. They're trying to not say what AEW says. They're trying to not AEW it by saying that there will be draws and whatnot. But that's what they're saying. There's going to be draws.
That's what I take from it.
Yeah.
Because the way that it sounds to me, it just wouldn't make any sense
to put it on for everyone to see. It's like literally like going, hey, the matches that you're about to see, like the other rules we're talking about, the matches you see aren't real. That's basically what, if this is...
We're saving that for the fights.
Saving that for the fights, bros. Like, yeah, brother.
Fights, they're going to go off till the end. These guys, though, they got 10 minutes. No more.
No more. And no less.
Hit your time.
No less either. Because
you better hit your time.
You got 8, you went 5, you're fired.
We're going to have to reformat this whole show if you go over your time.
And 8th.
We got fights coming.
The final rule, and again, this is Fight Club. This is totally ripped from Fight Club, and Adam Shearer, EC3. I respect you guys as entertainers, performers, and athletes. You definitely ripped this from Fight Club. If you want to hashtag control your narrative, you have to fight. If it's your first time at Fight Club, you have to fight. You ripped it from Fight Club. It's okay. It's a fun rule, and I get because like you've seen the promotional packages for them, they're really going for that gritty, we're strong, oily, muscle up men, and we're gonna kick each other's ass. We're not gonna worry about what people say about us. We're gonna say whatever we want to, because they're signing guys like Austin Aries and things like that. So they're going for a certain market, and maybe that certain market looks at these rules and goes, yeah. I'm not doing that. I'm waiting for it. I'm just gonna wait.
I mean, I could see some people looking through those and saying, this is my kind of thing, and I really want to see this because this speaks to me and I feel it right here.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I look at that and I'm just, well, you contradict yourself within your own list of 8 rules. You're doing things like telling people that matches are going to hit their times.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a fight within yourself.
Oh, that inner struggle.
I mean, do whatever you want, control your narrative, but don't do these moves.
Yeah.
We're not doing these moves.
Not these 3.
I mean, what are you doing?
Where are we
doing
going
here?
Where are we going? I don't know. But success to all the guys who are from D-Town that are going to be in the Dallas area. I think Chad, I can't say that last name, Eventually, I think.
Yes.
And
Dante Smiley.
Dante Smiley also.
There.
Yeah, like good on y'all, and controls y'all's narrative. Like I want to see. I would like to see this work.
But leave your super kicks at home.
Don't do that. I would like to see it work.
Unless it's a fight, then I guess you can. I don't think there's rules. So.